Hello, inconsistent bookworm over Manga again.
What's that decoration?
Yes, I have Megan here, though she did not read the manga because she's weird. She doesn't really read mangas because...
I read actual books like Frankenstein.
This is a book. I mean, this is like nearly 200 pages. Like, it's 180... No, I think it's 190 pages. Yeah, 190 pages on dot.
Frankenstein was 198.
Ooh. Most of the Star Trek books are barely over 150 pages. In fact, the Entropy Effect Star Trek book number 2 is like 120.
I'm just saying, 190 page, I ain't impressed.
No, I'm just saying. Still a book. But,
yes, your review.
Inconsistent Bookworm. It's back. Sorry, it's not The Walking. I didn't read it in like a week and a half. The major reason why is because I'm trying to get into The Walking. I'm like 23, 24 pages in. Right now, I'm very kind of not sold on it. In fact, there was one part I'm like, oh, it's almost enough to just make me quit reading, but screw it, I'll just get through it, power through. Yes, I decided to read the second volume of Inu-yasha. Of course, I know some people are like, it's not like regular manga, it's read like a normal book. Yes, I know. Because that's how they originally produced this. If I'm not mistaken, this is before the manga explosion that happened in the early to mid 2000s, like 2003 or so. And before that, most of the mangas they were done like normal comic books and most normal books, instead of how they are now, which is how the regular Japanese is, which is backwards.
Because Japanese are weird, go from right to left.
That's how their language is.
Well, that's what I'm saying in general.
That doesn't make them weird, it's how they are. Racist.
Well, Hebrews also did that.
What?
Well, the Jewish.
Oh yeah, Hebrews, yeah. And so do most Arab speaking countries.
Yeah, they're all weirdos. Sorry to all the Jews out there.
Yeah, except for, the Yiddish people, which speak a dialect of Hebrew with German, and it's read from left to right.
Oh my god, I'm plotzing.
Oi.
Most of what I know of Yiddish, I know from the nanny.
That's not a good thing. It's like, all the Yiddish I learned was from Harry Turtledove. But anyway, back Inu-yasha, Volume 2, which I want to get you into, eventually get you to reading, because I think you would enjoy it.
And for some reason, you want me to cosplay as Kagome.
I would be Inu-yasha, or I could be Shishomaru, whichever one you want me to be. I just think I wouldn't look as good in the Kagome outfit, I think I might frighten more people. And also I'd have to shave my legs. So, there's that. But yes, Inu-yasha, Volume 2. Volume 1, as most of y'all know, I was kind of on, mostly because it took so long to get started. Like, it was strange. The first episode of the actual series and everything got everything started fairly quickly. Like, by the end of it, the Shikon Jewel Shard, as it's called, or they call it about, Shikon. That doesn't look like it. It looks like Sengoku.
I'm not saying.
But there is a jewel shard, there's this jewel, and it's supposed to allow people to grant their wishes. It's a MacGuffin. It's a big MacGuffin. And it gets split up at the end of the first episode. In that book, it takes till chapter 4, which would be the equivalent of episode 2, midway through it at that. So yeah, the first episode, the anime actually, strangely enough, shortens these. This goes into more stuff. But I will say, at least this picks up right where we left off from last one, which was where, I don't remember her name, I don't know if they even say it, but they do say it in this, Yura. She's got an easy name, Yura. She is a spider demon. She is able to, send out these webs. They're pretty much like hair. She likes to take people's heads off and uses their hair to make webs and make strongholds, and she can cut people's heads off and stuff like that. Oh, his book is violent shit.
Are you ready?
I read it.
Tongue. tied today.
Well, by book 67, the guy gets his head ripped off.
Well, what I was going to say, I reiterate, Japanese are weird.
Well, it actually is part of Japanese lore. If I'm mistaken, there was like this famous like spider demon that would like spin these webs that soldiers would go through and just get cut to ribbons. It's one of the few things is his name Paul W.S. Anderson or just Paul W. Anderson? The guy who did the Resident Evil movies in the first one, that it almost harkens to Japanese lore when at the very beginning when that black guy gets sliced into pieces by the laser fence thing. It's sad one of the coolest characters dies in the first 15-20 minutes. Because dear God, can't let the black people live. Bastard. But anyway, like I said, this picks up right back where Inu-yasha and Kagome are trying to help save this one area and fight Yura, spider demon. And of course they beat her pretty easily, though it's actually kind of unique to try and see Inu-yasha figuring out that this demon lady, she doesn't feel pain. Because, like, he punches a hole through her heart and she just doesn't feel it. Cuts her arm off. He cuts both her arms off, in fact. And she's kind of like, meh. She's just like mildly annoyed by it. Like, damn it. Third time this week. You know, you might as well assume like she like, I don't know, like she broke a nail. Damn. Chipped a nail. Can't remember what that's from. But anyway.
You might be thinking of ladybugs.
Yeah, something like that.
They made me break a nail.
Get those nail breakers. I want that movie. It is such a piece of crap at times, but it's so fun.
And really hard to find.
No, they actually re-released it on Amazon. It's for like $5 on there.
Well, I'm talking about like going to an actual store.
Yeah.
That's what I would prefer to do, because ordering stuff online, especially from Amazon, you never know what you're going to get, what condition it's going to arrive in.
Mm-hmm.
Because people that work at Amazon can be assholes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. About Inu-yasha, more about it. Like I said, they beat Europe pretty quickly, which I'm glad, because they wrapped up this storyline, because at the end of the first book, it kind of seemed to drag. And it's like, alright, killed her. Bam, dead. And then they get their first Seacon jewel shard. I'm going to pronounce it 13 different ways. I am so sorry. I butcher Japanese names, as you can guess from my last review. And then we get to meet a new character, which, God, I can't remember his name. I'm going to probably be flipping through this to try and remember his name. But there is a flea demon. I'm trying to remember what his name is. Oh, God. Oh, there it is. Manga. God, I can't remember his name. Mega's like, flea demon?
Mm-hmm.
Almost anything in here that is supernatural is a demon. There are sometimes ghosts, like eventually Kagome is supposed to be the reincarnated version of Inu-yasha's love. Oh, what's her name? This is gonna bother me. I can't remember her name, and everybody's gonna be typing it down in the comments. Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna have 13,000 comments like, yeah, thanks. Thanks, I'm so glad you actually told me. But she's pretty much a reincarnated version of her, but she still exists in the feudal era, but as a semi-ghost, but she's corporeal at the same time. She's like a wandering spirit. It gets weird. But Myoga is originally a servant of Inu-yasha's father, who we learned is a wolf demon. As you can guess, because Inu-yasha has little ears. And he has claws.
I'm not saying in Japan a demon is just general supernatural spirit. We don't think they don't think of a demon like we do here in the Western world.
But it's weird that how the word demon translates from here to there. It's spirit.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what you remember of the third Ninja Turtle movie, but
I try to forget it happened.
Yeah, turtles were considered these water demons known as kappas.
Yeah. I do remember that, actually. Yeah. That was actually almost kind of neat, an idea, but they went nowhere with that idea quick.
Yeah.
It was like many things with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Went nowhere and fell off fast. But yeah, Inu-yasha's father, they actually kind of start exploring more of Inu-yasha in this book. I'm talking to you and our viewers. But yes, they we get to learn Manga has been serving Inu-yasha's father, and he's supposed to serve Inu-yasha. I do not know if they ever name Inu-yasha's father. That's the weird thing. Now, where they have a translation issue in this actual book, though, and it's one thing I'm going to poke fun of, and that is when they use the word Oni. Oni usually meant like an ogre, if I'm not mistaken. It sometimes can be used for demons. Usually it's meant for like ogres. In fact, even Kagome says something about that because they mentioned like an Oni demon or something like that. And she goes, ogre demon? Isn't that just an ogre? You know, she even says something like that. I'm not sure if like it's a translation issue or something.
No, I can look it up if you really want me to.
Nah, I'm not that worried about it. But it's one thing kind of like, stop me for a second.
Especially since it would take like 5 years.
Yeah. But yeah, we actually get to learn more about Inu-yasha's father here. We learn he was a great wolf demon, and any of those who've actually watched the anime or read these before learn that Inu-yasha is half demon. He's not a full demon. His mother was actually a human. And we get to meet her, though he never names her. And this is another time when there is a spirit, actually. Because somehow Shishomaru, this guy right here, who's pretty cool. I actually like Shishomaru. He's a badass through and through, though he really could do a lot more than they ever gave him stuff to do. They kind of just like, oh, he appeared randomly and then he's gone. Okay, thanks. He tries to get to Inu-yasha and him, because he's actually Inu-yasha's half-brother, because he's actually a full demon. How exactly that works, I don't know. I guess his mother wasn't Inu-yasha's mother, but... And how he looks like a human, I don't know. Yeah, it's like most... Yeah, he's looking for Inu-yasha and his father's tomb, pretty much, because he's supposed to find this family heirloom. It's supposed to be of great power, it's a great treasure, or anything like that. So he resurrects it away Inu-yasha's mother and puts it into this, like... The best way I can think of describing it is... Oh, what's that thing from Full Metal Alchemist? I'm trying to remember what they're called. Harlequins, I think? Mm-hmm. Or something like that. Pretty much, it's a lifeless, soulless being, but it has some of the characters of humanity. In a way, but it's still got no morals or anything like that. Though this one actually, because it was imbued with Inu-yasha's mother's essence, it actually tries to save Inu-yasha from Shishomaru at one point, which is actually a pretty neat little idea. And thinking about it, it's like, well, it does have her in there, so it's gonna want to save her son. Even though she almost kills him, like shortly before that. But yeah, that happens, and then Shishomaru finds the way to get there, which is through a pearl that's in Inu-yasha's eye. Oh, this book's weird. Yeah, it's very, very weird, as you can tell. And how he is able to use it to get to there, it's not exactly explained very well. It just kind of does, but oh well. It's manga and anime. You got to suspend a lot of disbelief. There are a lot of times you'll be going, wait, well, how's that work? It's sort of like the first few seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, straight up, there's a lot of things that are complete or bullshit. Like, that's not how those cards work. And there's certain things like, you can't do that. That's never how this card system works, but they just do it because they can. Like, I summon my Blue Eyes White Dragon on first turn. No, you can't. Unless you did a lot of special summons and sacrificed 2 creatures, you are not summoning that Blue Eyes. Sorry. Nerdiness coming in for that.
Did you geek out?
But Shishomaru goes there, goes to Inu-yasha in his father's tomb, and they come across the fabled sword that is throughout this entire series, which is the Tetsaiga. Which, actually, it's so good to finally see the Tetsaiga, because there's so many different instances, especially Yara, the first lady. They thought that it would just been done one hit with the Tetsaiga, because Tetsaiga is his father's fang. Somehow his father grew to be about the size of a mountain, and he somehow fashioned a sword out of his fang, but the only way it will become that way is if Inu-yasha is using it to defend humans. Oh yeah, it's one of those. What? But that happens.
And yes, I'm getting ready to call Looney Bin on you.
But yeah, we actually get to see the Ted saga, though we don't get hints at Shishomaru's actual gift, because his father actually left 2 different gifts. I will go ahead and spoil it that I do know of. Shishomaru gets a sword that is similar to Inu-yasha's, where Inu-yasha's is meant to destroy demons, because originally Shishomaru thought it could be used to fight and kill humans, but actually it's not any use against humans. But he gets a sword that heals. It'll heal anything. Because, like, there's this human, like, he eventually befriends in a way. It's a little girl, if I'm not mistaken. But it's actually kind of a good scene with Shishomaru. And it shows him gaining some humanity in a way. But yes, now that I've completely described this entire volume, y'all are probably wondering,
what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, what did I think about this? I rather like this volume a lot more than the first one. The first one plotted on a lot. It didn't help the weird nudity that just totally like, I feel like I'm watching reading child porn.
You feel like Petey?
Yeah, I was like, is Chris Hansen about to come in here in just a second? Sir, may I ask you something? It's also helping that we get a character that I know is going to pop back up, but also they kind of leave his fate very open, because Inu-yasha's fighting Shishomaru in his true demon form, where Shishomaru is again a giant wolf demon, but it's very like, he's like fiery and all that. It looks pretty cool. And we get to see what happened eventually to Shishomaru, because if I'm not mistaken, he got an arm lopped off. And this, you can see one of his arms gets torn off from him. And it helps that there's a lot more violence in it, because the first book was kind of bereft of violence, and it was just kind of a lot of setup and not a lot of story. Which, I know you have to set stuff up, but in your first volume you need to give us something. It's part of the issues that plagued Tsubasa. But this one has a lot of actual action, a lot of backstory at the same time. It feels like they found, or the writer of this, and she was also the artist, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry, young lady. Actually, I think she passed away.
Rumiko.
Yeah, Rumiko Takahashi. Yeah, Takahashi. Sorry. But yes, I think she figured out, okay, let's tell a good story, and let's have some good action. And there is some very good action in it. It's not as chaotic. She takes better use of using more panels. It feels a lot more closer to like a good 90s comic, which I know people are like, how dare you compare it to American comics? It's so much different. It's my feelings, people. But it feels like a very good going forward. Like, we're getting more history, we're getting more people, we're getting more characters. It does feel like it could be character overload, because we get Shishomaru, we get Manga, we get Shishomaru's buddy. And I know eventually we're about to get the Fox Demon. I can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. We're going to get Moroku, I hope, because Moroku was the big bad throughout the entire series. I think it was Moroku. I might be mispronouncing his name and calling him the guy that helped them. I don't know. But I know we're going to get more characters, and I just hope that they space them out a little bit better, because with those 2 characters, Myoga and Shishomaru, it could feel like, oh, we're just getting dumped on with 2 characters. But thankfully, Myoga is more of a secondary character, and just kind of is there to spit out exposition when it needs to be. So, yeah, I enjoyed this volume a lot more. This one was a lot more interesting. There was a lot more to be done. There was a lot more to read. And then I'm looking forward to 3 a lot more. I'm not going to be sitting going, I guess I'm going to read 2. Okay, not 3. I'm like, yay, 3. Just hope it's not. Hopefully, it's not going to be like the Star Trek movies where it's constantly up and down. Although I will say, Star Trek, or my own personal opinion, Star Trek and Into Darkness broke that trend for me, but that's a whole other issue. Well, also Nemesis. Or Nemesis didn't break that trend, because Nemesis I thought was a lot better than Insurrection. Wasn't a great Star Trek movie, but it was far and away better than Insurrection. Personal opinion. So, yeah, Inu-yasha Volume 2. If anybody was ever worried about the first one, or because I do know this didn't follow the manga or the anime very well, though the anime didn't follow it very well. That's because they made certain concessions. Because I'm not mistaken, Shishomaru didn't show up to like episode 5 or 6. And obviously, this would have been like in episode 3 or 4, give or take. But hey, it was pretty good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think she would even like it, even though she seems to be so anti-Japanese.
I'm not anti-Japanese. I'm just saying they're weird. Weird does not necessarily mean a bad thing, though.
I'm gonna say we're all weird. I'm gonna say we're Americans. We're all very weird. Oh, but yes.
Some of us more than others.
I know. I can't help it, baby. That's the reason why I left you so much. Yes, I'll finish this. I will keep reading The Walking. I will try to supplement these with the time it's taking me to finish The Walking. With more mangas, might be Sayabusa, might be next. Another volume of it. It might be something else. Might be this. Again, might be volume 3 of this, because I'm actually almost interested in getting into back that. So, hey, I will see you all then while I keep flapping this thing around like a psycho.
Keep texting somebody.
Yeah. So, I will see you all later, and this one probably won't be with me in the next one.
Yeah, probably not.
So, bye-bye, everybody.
Toodaloo.